Ladder I could do with. It sounded like the 4th of July last night about 2 o'clock at my house.
I know.
Well, all week our area has been under an excessive heat warning or an advisory.
Now, these extreme temperatures can take a toll on our health. And joining us now is Dr. Timothy Quinn of Quinn Healthcare in Ridgeland. Dr. Quinn, thank you for being with us today.
Hey, thank you for having me.
What are some of the health risks of extreme heat?
Well, I mean, we really have to understand that the extreme heat can be very dangerous, especially in populations to include the elderly and those with chronic medical conditions, that vulnerable population of people. People can suffer heat injuries just in a very warm house. If, for instance, some elderly individuals there have been reports that they didn't have proper air conditioning in their homes, and there are different initiatives that are being brought about to try to bring them into a cooler environment. But the take home is heat exhaustion, heat stroke, it can be very dangerous and it can also be deadly.
What are some of the symptoms of heat stroke or heat exhaustion that we need to kind of watch out for?
Right. Well, first, the way heat injuries evolve is you start out with heat exhaustion if you're in an unfortunate situation. Maybe you're someone that's out in the yard raking leaves or mowing the yard. You start to become very fatigued, excessive sweating, breathing very hard. Maybe you start to get a little bit of confusion. You may be suffering the initial stages of heat exhaustion. At that point, it's a very good idea to get out of the heat, get back in the house, get hydrated. But if you remain in an elevated heated environment, then you can suffer what's called heat stroke. This is a medical emergency. Some of the telltale signs are a person's skin can become very hot and dry. This person is no longer sweating because the body's defense mechanism just shuts down. That neurological defense that causes you to sweat, to cool down, you can't sweat. The person can become even more confused. They can lose consciousness. This is a medical emergency. If someone is in that situation, call 911 immediately because heat stroke can lead to death. So it's something that we really need to be serious about.
How can we help reduce the health risks of the extreme heat that we've been experiencing?
Well, what we need to do is take proper precautions. For instance, try not to go outside during the hottest times of the day. If you have to go outdoors to do outdoor work, do it early in the morning, before 8 a.m. if possible, and then late in the evening to include around maybe 7 o'clock or later, because it does stay light later hours during the summertime. Also, you want to hydrate, drink a lot of water before you go out, while you're out, and when you get back, drink that water and listen to your body. If you start to develop some of those signs and symptoms that I spoke of earlier, you're just extremely tired, you're breathing hard, excessive sweating, get out of that heated environment and get into a safer environment. And if you don't recover in a relatively fast amount of time, don't hesitate to seek medical attention.
Good advice. Thank you, Dr. Timothy Quinn, for being with us. You have a safe weekend yourself, sir.
Hey, thank you for having me. And let's stay cool this summer.
Absolutely.